Today I'm going to talk about demystifying questions about the soul. So a lot of you out there have a lot of questions regarding souls and exactly what happens as we are being born, and then what happens to a soul basically throughout our whole time being here on earth. So I'm going to cover a little bit about this today. I want to talk about, because I actually wrote an article about this sometime last year, and it's on Hub pages, and these were some earlier blogs that I actually had written. But I'm going to talk about soul blueprints or contracts, and a lot of people are asking, well, what is that? Basically, there are contracts that are written to you, written by you and your guides before your soul is born into a physical body here on earth. And with this blueprint, we actually get to map out who our parents are, our time, our birth time, the date that we were born, how we will be born, any physical features like weight, height. We also determine our method of passing, and that depends on how how we're going to exit this physical world once our lessons are learned and we're ready to transition off into the next realm, which is the spiritual realm. Now, some of this may sound weird to you if this is the first time you've heard this, but these individuals who pass from accidents, suicides, crimes, etc., if you're thinking, why would I have signed up for something like that? Perhaps you're thinking that there's no way that you would do that. But remember, our soul knows before we do. So we have no recollection, but subconsciously, the soul knows when it will depart. Those who pass unexpectedly or suddenly often sign up for this method of departure because the lessons needed for this lifetime have been achieved. Now, we all come to Earth for different amount of times. There's no specific age when death can occur. Family is often affected, and either the passing will bring family together or create distance. Now, let me give you an example. In this example, I'm just going to use the name Beth. Now, Beth is driving one night and is involved in a car accident, which results in her passing. And prior to her passing, her family was distant or angry at each other, and they would hardly even speak or sit at the same dinner table. Now, after her passing, everyone in the family comes together and the bond is stronger. That was all predestined. Now, what if the family grows angry and apart and everything was opposite? Well, this too is part of the predestined plan. Let's say the parents split up and now have gone their separate ways and have new partners and families. This passing has allowed them to meet someone else, and they are part of their blueprint. It's like an interconnected matrix, and ripple effects exist. So there's also questions about souls who pass prematurely. And don't live a long time here on the physical earth. These could be babies, miscarriages, things of that nature. They do often reincarnate, so that's something that you need to keep in mind, that if your child did pass at a very young age or as a baby, more than likely they are going to be reborn. And there is something that's going around now where people are understanding that if you are reincarnated and you actually pass as a child, you're reincarnated as a rainbow child or a crystal child. So these are very special souls here on earth. But souls who pass prematurely and don't live a long time here on the physical earth often reincarnate and come back either in the same or new soul family. So they don't necessarily have to come back. Let's say you cannot have any children any longer, but you did lose a child. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be reborn back into you, to you. But it would be somebody in your family. It could be like a cousin, a sister, or a brother. Let's see here. Another important question often asked is, why did the person pass without their loved one being present? One example is that your loved one is in the hospital and passed when you left about an hour later. You never got a chance to say goodbye. This often is very hard to understand and accept. Often you feel guilt and anger. So let me explain this. Souls often depart when loved ones are not around. Why? Because it is easier for them to let go. If you're present, they're going to continue to hold on for the love they have for you until you say it's okay for them to go and be in peace. Now, for those on life support or in a coma, do they know that I'm around? Can they hear me? The answer is yes to this. Even if they're declared brain dead, the soul is aware and alert. They can hear and know everything that is occurring. When they wake up, they may have no memories of what happened, but the soul is always aware. Some people may remember floating from the ceiling looking down at their body or loved ones. They may remember conversations discussed by family and doctors. When a person is in a coma, the soul is 1 foot in the earthly realm and 1 foot in the spiritual realm. So they are in between worlds. And they make a decision if they want to return to their physical body and continue to live their life out on earth, or if they would like to pass on to the spiritual realm. Now, sometimes during these specific moments, they may spend times with their guides and edit their blueprint and rewrite something. This is often why people often come back, often say that they remember being greeted by loved ones who told them it wasn't their time. They must go back. And I think I've discussed this in previous videos before, but we all have different exit points that we can choose from. So it's not one select, time frame. You could have had a near-death experience when you were 21 and had another near-death experience at 44, but you're still here and alive. It's because you decided not to go at that time. Now let's discuss people who are in severe physical pain before their passing. This could be physical, mental, or emotional pain. It's our physical body that houses the soul and experiences pain. So after our passing, our soul doesn't feel any more pain because we're composed of energy. So the energy can feel no physical pain. If they use glasses, they may be without glasses in the spirit realm. If they had trouble walking or confined to a wheelchair before passing, they might be able to walk freely now. Now, those who walk in God's white light only feel peace and love, and there's no pain. Another important subject is suicide. Many people wonder if the individuals are destined to what certain doctrine says about this. They do go to the spiritual realm or heaven. The divine doesn't discriminate. Remember, there's only one love. Now, what about the people who were dark souls on earth and committed crimes or carried a lot of hatred? What happens to them? Well, there are different types in the spiritual realm. The higher levels are full of love, and it's like a pyramid. They go down in ascending levels, depending on your lessons and soul. And you will feel all the pain that you have caused other people and yourself. Now, I know that I just said, that we don't feel physical pain because we don't have a body, but basically what I'm referring to is that the soul is held accountable. We are held accountable when we leave. And it may be a brief moment that we actually do experience some kind of pain, again, if you're in the lower levels of the spiritual realm. So that's why it's important to do good deeds while you're here on earth, having the earthly experience. Do good deeds and show love. Do my loved ones know I miss them or I'm sorry? Yes. Remember that they are alive, just in a different form. And they know all, see all, and hear all. So it's important to always say goodbye or to tell someone how special they are to you, because you don't know when our time here on the physical earth is up. My loved one was mumbling something before they passed, and I couldn't understand what they were saying. What were they trying to tell me? Well, before a person passes, they're often greeted by past loved ones or angels as they're communicating with them through telepathy. So, however, the soul is still in the physical body, and therefore it sounds like utterances that cannot be understood. So they may not be trying to tell you something, but speaking with loved ones who are already on the other side. And basically, this is a pretty short video, so I just wanted to cover these brief topics with you. And I hope that, if you have any questions, you can always email me. It's RaymondGuzman@hotmail.com, and I may incorporate them into a video, or on my website. But if you're tuning into this, please visit www.psychicmediumray.webs.com. The website was recently updated. Again, that's www.psychicmediumray.webs.com. And if you are you're watching this from YouTube, you can actually go to my Facebook page, which is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman. And if you're on Instagram, you can go ahead and follow me at Psychic Medium Ray. And on Instagram, at the upper right hand corner, there's 3 little dots once you're on my page. If you click on that and you scroll down to turn on post notifications, you'll be notified anytime I make a post. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and blessings and love and light.